Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to do a quick get ready with me. There is a product that I used to have and I used to love, but I got the wrong shade. And I thought I would try it again, hopefully this time with the right shade. I already have my face primed because the product I'm talking about is from Missha. This is the Missha Perfect Cover BB Cream. I had the lighter shade. This is shade number 23. And when I had this before, 23 seemed a little deep. And I was like, well, let me get the next shade lighter. And the next shade lighter was like vampire pale. It was like unearthly. It was like, what? And it was too much. And so I never really could use it. So sometimes I'd mix it, but I'd never get the full impact of the perfect cover. This product, it's not really a foundation, and I feel like BB creams are the perfect in-between for just enough, not too much. Oh, it looks kind of gray, doesn't it? Oh, let's see. I think I'm just going to be, blending this with fingers today. Maybe I'll use a mirror so I can see what I'm doing. The reason that I wanted to try this again is because I love the look of skin that looks like skin. And the older I get, the more I'm trying to make sure that I don't wear foundation that's too heavy. That's my goal. And I easily fall into that. I feel like there is kind of like a line. And do you see the difference in the shade between here and here? Oh, if I still had the other one, I would lighten it up because I feel like it's too dark. So the day this is going up is my youngest daughter's 11th birthday. She is so excited to be turning 11. Maybe not as excited as she was to turn 10 because she's like, I'm gonna be double digits. She was so excited to be 10. And this year, it's been a really weird year. My two kids are both born in March. My oldest had her birthday on the 5th. My youngest birthday is today. My oldest is a little bit more subdued. She's very much the rule follower. She wants everybody to have a fair chance, an opportunity. And my youngest is like a glitter bomb waiting to go off at any moment. She sparkles in every single situation. But the weird thing is, this year, I should say this school year, has been really different because my youngest, who's like my total social butterfly, has been struggling, not just scholastically, but just like overall, having been home for so much of the year. They go to a school where the parents had the option of having kids actually in the classroom starting in August or doing online only. And we opted for the online option. So my kids, even though almost all of their friends were back in the classroom, my kids were home. And my oldest, who likes quiet and well-ordered things, could very easily mute the Zoom when the teacher was done instructing and not have to hear the rest of the rowdy kids, and was doing great. And my youngest, who is the, social butterfly, she was dying. She's like, her grades were dropping a little bit. Her attitude was changing, and she's one of those that has the best attitude. She just is like happy and joyful always, but she had lost her sparkle. She wasn't happy. She wasn't joyful. She needed people. So when we finally sent them back in mid-February, they've been back for almost 3 weeks now. I guess 3.5 weeks. My oldest is like, it's so loud, I can't get anything done. She's complaining about how everybody talks too much. And my youngest is like, she's so happy. But we're still in the transition period of making sure that, they're getting all their stuff done and not distracted by, being around people, and there are people to actually talk to in class. And oddly enough, I would think that my social butterfly would be the one who would be struggling more because now there's more people, more distractions. She is more focused and her grades are up. I'm just like, you just needed to go back to school. If you have school age kids and you have the conundrum, how do I help my kids learn in the midst of these very different circumstances, I understand that. I get you. My oldest is still trying to figure out how to tell everybody to be quiet without being rude. I'm like, you just have to learn to tune them out, sweetheart. And I was like, I'm surprised that she hasn't, been at this point before. Ooh. And she's like, you know, I never really noticed it before, but I guess being home for 11 months and being kind of like the master of your own learning environment, she just really thrived with the silence, and then it wasn't silent. All right, so I'm just putting on a little bit of conceal, well, it's not really concealer, I guess it's a color corrector under my eyes to help counteract some of that darkness, and just a little bit here over a couple of my leftover post-inflammatory inflammation, hyperpigmentation spots from some blemishes that I had. Let's see if I can get this to, oh look, almost not there. I'm going to be using a little bit of the Age Perfect Radiant Concealer from L'Oreal. I have the lightest shade, and I'm just going to put a little bit of this here and right on the outside of my eye. A little bit here for the redness. I like the way this BB cream looks because I feel like it really covers my redness, but it still looks like skin. I mean, you can still see some freckling and you can still see some like melasma in through here. And I'm not going for totally perfect skin, just perfected skin. I'm gonna go back to an old favorite. This is the Advanced Radiance from CoverGirl. I don't know why I don't use this more. I was kind of going through my stash and remembering, oh yeah, that's really good. So I'm just gonna hit kind of like the center of my face with this. I don't want to do my whole face, but just where I know that I'm more likely to end up with more, I was gonna say glow. We'll just call it what it is. More oils and sebum later in the day than maybe I'm hoping for. So I'm just gonna set the middle of my face. I'm still trying to get through my Hoola Lite. I don't know, I quit the project pan. Okay, I've been doing a project pan where you know, oh look, I got to the point where I can see the actual pan in this product. Let me see if I can finish it. And that was for 2020 and it never happened. And I think a lot of it was, you know, 2020, I've spent less time in makeup, which is fine. I feel like a lot of us spent more time focusing on other things and less time in, you know, actual makeup. I forget how good this looks on my skin. I really like this bronzer. Just a little bit, not too much. I cannot seem to stop reaching for this. This is the new Venetian Rose from M Cosmetics. It's so pretty. I love it so much. And this is great because it has some blurring properties to the powder itself, and it also has some pearls in it, so there's a luminizing quality, so I get a little bit of a glow. I really like the way that this sits on my skin. I think it's really pretty. I'm going to be reaching into this. This was part of my February favorites, and the weird thing is that I normally don't go for such a blingy highlight because this can be very frosty, and I just love it so much. Weirdest thing happened, I actually finished a brow product. I cannot remember the last time that happened, and I think a lot of it just came down to, without realizing it, I had been favoring this one pencil. I don't use pencil all the time. It was the CoverGirl, the little skinny micro fine and define pencil. It was a really nice pencil. I like that one from the drugstore if you're looking for a good pencil that's a dupe for like the Brow Wiz. And it's less expensive. The one from NYX is really good. Their micro pencil is good, but it's a little bit more expensive than the one from CoverGirl. I also really like this one. This one's from e.l.f. What's this one called? Their Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. I was surprised at how good these brow products were. Brows was the one thing that, you know, I could wear a drugstore lipstick, I could wear a drugstore foundation, powder, concealer, but I never really felt like I got really good brows from the drugstore, and I just realized I hadn't been trying the right products for my type of brow. I tend to have more brow hair in the first half of the brow, and then from the arch out through the tail, it's kind of like, is there hair? I don't know. And so I need something that's not going to be too heavy in the front end, but give me that flexibility to really paint on a brow I don't legitimately have in the second half, and to look really a little bit more natural. I mean, it's not really natural, but my goal is for it to look more natural than, you know, Sharpie brow. I'm in for the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I really like this fiber gel. I think it's like a $4 or $5 product from the drugstore. For the longest time, I was dedicated to the one from Charlotte Tilbury, the Legendary Brows, and it's a really good brow product, but it's expensive. It's in the $20 range. And this, you know, $4, $5, I'm not sure exactly how much it is. It's a great product. It still offers you the fibers, and the tone is right for my hair. That's the hardest part that I have, is finding a brow, oops, placement. Finding a brow product that actually isn't too red, isn't too purple, isn't too gray. And I use the shade Neutral Brown in the e.l.f. products, and it's just perfect. Okay. I'm going to be using the M Cosmetics Divine Skies eyeshadow palette in Magic Hour, and I'm just picking up this matte brown here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of this in the crease. I don't want to do too much. I want it to be a really easy eye today. Got a hair appointment today. I'm going to get my hair cut. I'm looking forward to that. I've been trying to let it grow a little bit. My goal is to get back to, you know, shoulder length or a little bit longer. I initially got my hair cut short in September of 2019. I had been working on growing my gray out, and I thought, you know what, I'm ready to just chop off all the hair that's dyed. And I realized if I had done that, I would have had hair like to here, and I was like, maybe not all of it, but I wanted to go shorter so I could just let it keep growing out, keep trimming it to this short level, and then once there was no more dyed hair, just let my hair start growing again. And I was just at that point. And then last summer I needed to have brain surgery. And the great thing about brain surgery is to get in there, they got to shave part of your head. So I had a couple of parts. I had a part back here that was shaved, and it's finally as long as everything else. But I do have a little part here where I have, where are they? I have these little teeny tiny short guys here. I had a whole patch that was shaved here. And they're about like 3.5, 4 inches long now, but they're just long enough to not be sticking straight up. And I was like, boy, it took a long time. I had surgery in early July, and it's March now. It's been like 8, 9 months, and I'm still like struggling with my hair here. But thankfully, you can't really tell with the cut that I have. But my goal is to just start letting the rest of it grow, and eventually these will catch up. I feel like I've been struggling with my hair for the last 2 years, and I don't regret that decision to let my gray come in. I'm actually really grateful for that. I feel like my hair has been the healthiest it's been because I'm not dyeing it. I'm also, the other thing I did when I decided to stop dyeing it was to not straighten it anymore or use any hot tools that were hot styling tools. Well, I still blow dry it, but I use a cool setting, but I'm not using a curling iron, I'm not using hot rollers, and I used to do that sort of stuff all the time. And I didn't really realize how curly my hair was because it just seemed kind of limp and fuzzy, and I had been stretching the curl pattern out for so long I had no clue. So thankfully my stylist is very on board with and not trying to convince me to get my hair dyed again. I appreciate that. And she's very much on, let's get you in a cute cut till your hair grows out and all the weird, strange places that you've been dealing with because of your surgeries. She's just been the best. I love her so much. And she has kept a sense of humor about my fun haircuts that my neurosurgeon gives me, because she's gotten me through 4 surgeries now. Yeah. Growing hair after that is always entertaining. I don't want to do anything too involved. I think I'm just going to use this shade here. It's more of kind of like a rose gold. I'm just going to place that on the lid. I love how pigmented, I'm just going to use my finger. It's going to be faster. I love how pigmented these are. Look at that. So pretty. I feel like the color payoff is good. I feel like the shimmer for these is really pretty. I knew this was going to be kind of like my go-to everyday palette. the sort of thing that I would reach for when I want just a little, not too much. It's got just the perfect shades, that brown, these metallics. I like everything about this. I'm gonna run just a little bit of this light brown underneath my eye. Not a lot, just for a little hint of definition. And then I'm gonna take this lightest kind of pearly shade right here and put it just in the inner corner, not a lot. I love what mascara does for an eye, but I hate having to take mascara off. And the M one is the tubing mascara. It's not too heavy, too thick, too bold. So it gives just a little bit of definition, and then it's so easy to wash off at the end of the day. If you've never tried a tubing mascara, there are a lot of really good ones out there, but it just comes off with warm water. So I was gonna put some gloss on, and I was like, wait, you're going to get a haircut. You need to keep a mask on, don't gloss, because then I'd end up with clown mouth. So I ended up putting on the Lisa Eldridge lipstick and blush. It's a really pretty kind of deep mauve shade that has some nice coolness to it. I really like the way that this looks on the skin. I ended up powdering more than just kind of like my T-zone. I did powder my whole face lightly because I thought about like, wait, you're gonna be in a mask in a salon for a hot minute. Give yourself some longevity with your makeup. So I'm hoping that this wears well underneath my mask today. The other thing I picked up when I was making an order from Missha is this. This is their Time Revolution First Treatment Essence. And they've had several different versions of this, but I have used this product for years. And somehow in the middle of 2020, I ran out of it and I didn't repurchase. Because normally I use this nonstop. When I was in the hospital in 2017, this was the only product my husband brought me for my face. So I think I was using, he brought me this, Balm.com, and the Medieval lipstick. And I asked for some other things, and he was in such a panic. I had 3 brain surgeries in 2017, and 2 of them were unexpected because I was having complications, so I had to be airlifted. So he was like trying to grab stuff that he thought I needed, and he saw that I was using this every day. But he didn't bring me a face wash, he didn't bring me a moisturizer, he just brought me this essence. And for 10 days in the hospital, when he finally got it to me, I think it was like day 2 or day 3, and I finally started washing my face. I was using just the regular soap in the hospital, and then this is what kept me hydrated, and I felt like I was able to survive a lack of skincare. This was a beautiful, I love this, and just because of my experience of not using anything but this for like a week, my skin still looked really good and it didn't go crazy and I didn't get really dry. But I love this product and I use it incessantly. And so this time, instead of getting just like the 100 ml bottle, I got like the 215 ml bottle. It's like, yes. But I love that. Thanks so much for hanging out. I know it was a little random, a little chatty, you know, a little birthday, a little skincare, you know, trying something. Is it the right shade? I don't know yet. Probably not. But thank you so much for watching. I would love to know what your go-to look is. What are the things that you feel like if you're going to put on makeup, what are your essentials, or what are the products that you heavily lean on and you really, really love? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching today. Have an amazing day, and I will see you again soon.